tayo may pangarap na bahay na nais matupad balang araw. Pero bukod sa design, location at materyales, isa sa mga kauna-unahang dapat isaalang-alang sa pagpapatayo ng ating dream house ay kung hanggang saan naabot ang ating budget. Ang pagbabudget o pagpaplano ng gastos ay ang maingat na pagtukoy at paglaan ng pondo sa bawat bahagi ng construction process. Kasama rito ang materyales, design, bayad sa paggawa, permits, pati na ang mga hindi inaasahang gastusin gaya ng repairs, sakaling magkaroon ng aberya o ilang pagkakamali sa paggawa. Hindi naman kinakailangan na maging mayaman dahil may paraan para makamit ang inyong dream home nang hindi nasasaid ang inyong ipon. Pero paano nga ba ang tamang budget kapag nagpapatayo ng bahay? Sabi ng mga arkitekto na may tuturing ding espesyalista hindi lang sa disenyo kundi pati sa pagbabudget ng proyekto dahil sa malawak nilang kaalaman at karanasan sa pagpapatayo ng bahay. Importanteng magkaroon ng profesional na gabay para sa mas maayos at epektibong pagpaplano.
The first thing to consider when trying to build a house is to first, of course, look for the right professional and seek for an advice sa registered and licensed architect. Yung services ng architect, maraming stages yan, marami siyang scope. But when it comes to rates, meron kaming standard of professional practice na pina-follow, around 6% to 10%.
One of the most common mistakes sa mga nagbabalak magpatayo ng bahay ay ang mag-DIY para makatipid o magpagawa sa isang kakilala nang hindi na-verify ang kanilang kakayahan at karapatang magsagawa ng mga proyekto gaya ng tamang license at authorization na in the long run, maaaring magdulot ng mas malaking gastos at problema.
When it comes to architectural design, 15 years yung liability ng architect. So, if titignan niyo rin yung fee na binayad niyo sa architect, let's say 150,000, not including pa yung actual designing phase, if you divide that by 15 years, you're just paying the architect 10,000 per year to assure that you're following the standard building codes and laws of our country.
Kaya para sa karaniwan nating mga kababayang nangangarap magkaroon ng sarili nilang bahay, mas pinipili muna nilang mag-ipon kaysa magmadali.
August 29 nasunog po kasi yung bahay namin. And then nakitira lang po kami dito sa bahay ng kapatid ko. Marami kasing anak ko, 7 sila. Kaya gusto kong lumipat. Mas gusto ko kasi meron kaming bahay na kasi dito kasi hindi kami makakilos ng maayos. Ang mapapayo ko po sa single mom dyan na gustong lumipat ng location na makakaya po ang kanilang budget, pagkasyahin po nila at doon sa location na malapit sa trabaho, malapit sa school. Hindi naman po ako nagpili ng gaano kalaki. Basta kasya lang po yung 7. 7 yung anak ko nun.
Sa probinsya gaya ng Cebu, aabutin ng humigit kumulang 1.5 million pesos ang pagpapatayo ng isang 30 square meters na bahay. Depende pa yan sa lugar at taas ng bahay na gustong ipatayo. Lupa, plano, construction, finishes. Marami pala talagang dapat i-consider sa pagpapatayo ng bahay. Pero di bali ng sigurado kaysa sa dulo, madehado. May idea na ba kayo kung paano ang tamang budget sa pagpapatayo ng inyong bahay? Kung hindi pa, mas marami pang tips ang ating mga eksperto. Ready ka na ba for your own house? Saan nga ba mas makakatipid para masigurong swak ang dream project sa inyong budget?
When you start trying to plan and design a house, yung first talaga is to, again, talk to the right professional, in this case, the architect. Kasi the architect will be the one to align your needs, your wants, into the budget that you can give. And then, in return, realistic din yung magagawa nating solution for your house. Yung isang purpose of getting these professionals, not just the architect, is to apply or to get the building permit. Yung building permit is what we need to get when we try to build our houses. Hindi siya optional. Second is to find your location or your site. Ideally, para mas mura yung pagpatayo ng bahay, it should be at a flat land. So, dapat patag yung location. Kasi if it is at a sloping lot, mas malaki yung cost in terms of structural expenses. You try to list down the things that you need and the things that you want. So from that, you categorize them, rank them, prioritize, and then go from there. What I can recommend is to prioritize what you need. So hindi naman lahat ng elements ng bahay niyo is very important. So merong parts that are highly important or must be a priority. Merong parts na pwedeng later on na. Your budget dictates the size, the direction, and the timeline of your proposed project. When it comes to construction, hindi naman kailangan matapos agad lahat. So if hindi pa kaya magpa-finishing, then yung priority really is safety and security of whoever is living in the house. Pinaka-important is not to compromise the structural materials that you are using, yung mga kabilyada, yung mga mixture ng semento. You have to follow what is being recommended by your engineer. One of the most common mistakes is not giving allowance to unforeseen circumstances. So usually, we give 10-15% for contingency. During the duration of your planning and construction, yung cost ng materials fluctuates every now and then. There may be times that yung cost ng materials is more than when you are still estimating. And another thing, hindi natin maiiwasan yung human error or mistakes. That will cover your cost for the minor mistakes that is possible that you will encounter during the duration of the project.
Kaya laging tandaan, mahalaga ang bawat desisyon sa pagbuo ng pangarap ninyong tahanan. Basta't laging siguruhin na maayos ang inyong plano at nakikipag-usap lang sa mga tamang tao.
Again, try to do a background check para you'll know that the people you are getting are registered and licensed professionals. You can look up PRC for that. Also, you can ask for official receipts or invoices from your professionals. You can also try to check their previous projects, talk to their previous clients, and try to see if they are the people that you want to align with.